Quick disclaimer, all the content in this video are meant for its rightful owner. No copyright infringement intended. I don't own shit. But yeah, enjoy the video.
I don't know what's more amazing, the fact that the Chicago Bears are such a lower profile circus act, or that there are still avid fans of the team. Having a good year as often as Halley's Comet will take a lot of enthusiasm out of people. But here we are, another forgettable season and more wasteful stenches coming out of Soldier Field. Did I mention this has been almost every year for the last 25 years? I think I know why you've been punished like this. We are the Bears, shuffling crew, shaking those down. The thing is, the Bears haven't been anywhere near successful besides their fluke playoff runs in 2006 and 2011. They're less of a laughingstock and more of an overgrown man-child leeching off of daddy's trust fund in his 30s. They're just there. When your favorite team plays, you are excited to see a quality game of football. And then you see you are playing the Bears. There is no more smiling. Nobody looks at the Bears and says, "Man, what a tough opponent we have to face this week." They are the jobbers of the NFL world. The Bears have been put on this earth to make teams like the Packers and Cowboys look good and pad fantasy stats. This year was actually a bit of an anomaly for the Bears, where they were quite horrible at 3-13. A rather quiet 3-13, where fan expectations are to the point where if they don't shit themselves on a field, they see it as status quo. Alshon Jeffrey had a terrible year full of underachieving and a PED suspension. The offense packed enough punch to be mistaken for a water pistol, and the fan base still desires to fire the eternally underachieving Jay Cutler out of a trebuchet into Lake Michigan. Jay Cutler is the best quarterback the Bears have ever had. He's actually the perfect mascot for the team. They keep saying he'll be great one day, but his only greatness is throwing metric tons of interceptions. He's going to be so legendary that we'll give him a gigantic albatross of a contract extension in the hope that he can stop looking sickly and vaccinate his poor children. I feel bad for him. He's going to be totally fucked when he gets exiled to Cleveland. There has, however, been one consistency to the Bears besides unflappable sub-mediocrity. The great dynasty of the McCaskies! The Bears have been led by longtime matriarch Virginia, a 94-year-old elder statesman who is one of the last remnants of football's original families. Virginia may be a passionate fan who expects results, but she has one major Achilles heel: the powers of nepotism. She has unleashed the Pandora's box on Bears fans known as the McCaskies. I don't know why I keep doing that. The Bears' main strength has been keeping it in the family and have developed such a great rate of organizational inbreeding that it gives the fucking Habsburg family a run for their money. Ever since George Halas died, it's been a steady downhill spiral. Yes, they won a championship in 1986 with George Halas's hires. Even then, the McCaskies find a way to fuck up situations that would play themselves out if they didn't meddle. What's a great idea? Fire GM Jerry Vanisi after a 14-2 season. An even better one, fire Chicago demigod Mike Ditka and piss off Bears fans everywhere because he won't stroke Ed McCaskey's ego and he had a subpar season. How do we fix our quarterback problem? Force our team to draft Jim Harbaugh and then cut him because he sucks. But we can waste first-round picks to trade for Rick fucking Myrer and draft the legendary Cade McNown. For a head coach, let's announce our new one before we even come to a formal agreement. He sees how much of a clown show we are and justifiably runs for the hills. The matriarch was rightfully pissed at this 15-year-long display of ineptitude and sacked her son from day-to-day operations. And replaced him with someone equally as inexperienced in Ted Phillips, who is a McCaskey in all but name. Her sons have been chairman of the Bears since the 1980s. Once Michael retired, her youngest son George took over. He was in charge of the ticket office beforehand. This is what happens when you have accountants in charge of day-to-day football operations. You get people more interested in the bottom line than the on-field product. May I present Exhibit A in the renovation of Soldier Field. It was an absolute butchering of one of the most iconic stadiums in professional football. They mangled it so much that it was taken off of the national list of historic landmarks. It was one of the only renovations that decreased seating capacity in a stadium. And I know why you you agree to it, so you could artificially increase demand for your product and charge more money for tickets. Now, it's a dispassionate place where the only people that can afford to go are corporate buyers who couldn't give a flying fuck about football. Even then, you found a way to botch it since you gave the stadium to the city, robbing you of tens of millions of dollars of potential profits a year. Oops. They've gotten a little better with spending money on the team as of late, but they still haven't shed their incompetence. Lovie Smith was the lowest paid head coach in football for years, and then they fire him after a 10-6 season. Let's not even get into the Phil Emery era, redrafting positions for years, god-awful free agent signings and extensions galore. By the way, how'd that Mark Trestman experiment work out for you? Totally worth passing on Bruce Arians because he wouldn't keep most of the assistant coaches. It's still gotten to the point of the Bears being disgustingly greedy, however. Take Hunter Hillenmeyer, a linebacker who suffered a career-ending injury while with the team. The McCaskies tried to snake their way out of paying the remainder of his contract, citing some bullshit technicality. The grand sum? $900,000. It's a drop in the bucket in terms of their net worth, but every dollar is precious. They have also avidly supported legislation in the state of Illinois to eliminate paying health insurance for athletes over the age of 35. This is incredibly ironic, considering the major controversy between football and post-career health issues was catalyzed by the death of Dave Duerson, a former fucking Chicago Bear. Let's face the unfortunate truth, Bears fans. You're in the same boat that Blackhawks fans were in over a decade ago. You are waiting for the owner to die. When your great matriarch croaks, you hope, her offspring will either be usurped from power or be so consumed with greed that they sell the team and fuck off to the Hamptons. Either way, there are too many what-ifs in this situation. There is only one absolute here. You'll have more flaccid and disastrous seasons like this one thanks to the McCaskies. You paid $15 million a year for Mike Glennon. God, you are so fun.
5 weeks left until the first game, so